Good morning.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Brian and I were literally just talking about the fact that Brian has a really good country voice, and I completely agree because we were just singing to.
I used to be in a choir.
Don't want to miss a thing.
You
were in a choir?
Pre-puberty. That's how I define my life right now.
Brian. I have a really valid, completely good question for you. How did you sound before, you hit puberty?
Honestly, like a girl.
Because your voice is really deep.
Yeah, it's it shocked some people I knew if they didn't see me between hitting puberty because I used to sound like a little girl. I could sing very high notes, and then I had a sore throat for a week, and after that my voice started getting deeper, and I'm like, oh, that's puberty.
And
it hit me.
Weird.
It hit me like a train, with how
it hit you like a wrecking ball.
Yeah. Puberty came in like a wrecking ball, and
very valid question. All right, have you ever seen that episode of Family Guy?
And hey guys, want to play some baseball?
Oh, is that what happened to you?
Pretty much. That's my life story.
Oh my.
So I define my life, my history, with one turning point, and that's puberty. There's Brian before puberty, and then Brian after puberty, as far as my voice goes.
See, I really wish I had.
I had people think I sounded like this when I was young.
I believe it. I believe when you were 4 years old that you had that voice, honestly. Or you probably sounded like me.
And it's like, wah.
That's exactly Baby Brian.
Yep, that's Baby Brian.
Baby Brian. No, when I was, my voice was never always this, deep. I keep being told, my voice isn't very, soft and feminine, which I understand, I know. But I have this clip, and I wish I could play it. I would have to bring in another day to edit it because there was a lot of cursing. I was 14. And my voice, you remember Fred? That annoying little chipmunk.
Oh,
Fred?
yeah.
Like, hi, how are you?
Yeah.
My voice used to be so squeaky. I guess for whatever reason, testosterone took over. I have no idea.
I remember,
all of a sudden my voice got deep.
I think freshman year I had a very bad sore throat towards the end. I sounded like Jason Statham.
Oh, my God. That is... that's awesome.
Yeah. I just go around, hello, how are you? I'm Brian Walsh.
Can you not do hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm here in Death Race. Death Race was on the other day. That's how.
Oh my God, I forgot all about that movie. I like it.
It's a terrible movie.
It's horrible, but the scenes are so
yeah.
good.
You watch it for the action, and then they made the mistake of putting a story in it.
Well, that was the first movie I've ever seen with Jason Statham.
Really? I don't think I've ever really seen a Jason Statham movie all the way through.
My mom, she thinks it's really funny. She likes to say that that with her eyes closed, I kind of sound like a boy, a certain type of boy, a boy that likes boys. I'm gonna say it like that.
Okay.
And she's like, you just sound like that all the time. If I didn't know who you were, I thought you went through a transformation or something. And I'm like, thanks, Mom.
I have to be careful because there's some days where my voice just sounds creepy. So I don't want to be walking behind someone I know. It's like, hey, how's it going?
Your voice is pretty deep that it could sound extremely creepy. If you came up behind me and said something super weird,
yeah,
I totally would be afraid.
I had people once say that they could feel my voice when I talk.
Ooh. When you said that alone, I was just like, ooh.
Because, I was giving a presentation in class in high school, and this one girl, few rows back, is like, oh my God, does anyone else, feel his voice?
That's scary. I'm sorry. I really cannot find this news bed. Why can't I find this news bed? You know what? We're going to bring it old school, and we're going to listen to the football news bed. Are you ready for our news?
I have, maybe 5 stories.
All right, we're going to do these 5 stories with an NFL news bed. Are we ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2.
This is the New York Football Radio Network.
That's okay. So, the DEA warned a council in Utah that if they passed medical marijuana, they would have to deal with stoned animals that would eat the marijuana crops, then get too comfortable with humans, and then just go out and cause havoc.
That's weird.
Yep. Mayor de Blasio said he won't march in the St. Patrick's Day parade unless the organizers change their limitation on displays of gay pride. Right now, they're allowed 1 banner for gay pride.
I'm sorry, Brian. You're I'm trying to. I couldn't hear the NFL news bed, so I literally just raised the thing over your voice, and I didn't realize it because only one headphone's working.
Yeah, this is very quiet.
Now I see what they're talking about. I didn't realize. I'm sorry, Brian. Let's start that news again.
Okay. Start it all over again?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I drowned out your whole news story by me raising it to the top. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry.
Which one? The first one? Or?
Yes, the first one. Because I heard it, but they didn't hear it.
The DEA warned a council in Utah that if they passed medical marijuana, Utah would have to deal with stoned animals, such as rabbits that would eat the crops, get high, and then cause havoc around because
Bobby is like dying laughing.
because they'd be too comfortable with humans, and that is the
Can
fear
you
they're trying.
imagine like Peter Cottontail just be like, "What's up? How you doing? I got that crazy kush.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to get some carrots.
I just need some carrots.
Do you
I'm
have a
hungry, man.
permit for those carrots, Mr.
I
Cottontail?
got the munchies, man. I got the munchies.
So, Mayor de Blasio won't march in. Says he will not march in the St. Patrick's Day parade unless organizers change their limitation on displays of gay pride. Right now, it's limited to one banner for gay pride at the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Wow. Well, good for him that he's taking a stand.
I mean, I don't think people would really care if he doesn't march.
That's also a very good point with the way.
Because I know like a lot of
right
a lot of cop and firefighter unions march in that as well, and they're not big fans of de
They're probably
Blasio.
just like, we don't care. But I do think that they should have more bans for other people like the gays. So
Yeah.
I do agree with that.
In North Carolina, $4 million worth of gold was stolen from a truck. But reading the story, I believe it was an inside job, because the truck just so happened to break down.
Brian solved it
Okay.
for everybody.
Because they pull over saying there's truck problems, like, you know, something went up. The guards get out, and just as they get out, 3 armed gunmen show up to steal the gold. I believe someone sabotaged it. There was an
Brian
inside.
solved it.
It's
There's-
Ocean's like.
there's no longer a mystery.
It's Ocean's 15.
That would be really cool. Like, I wish I was watching Horrible Bosses, and you know, like the whole basis of, it was the second one. The whole basis of Horrible Bosses is to get rid of your nasty boss, whatever, blah blah blah. And they have all these weird scenarios. And the only thing I thought was, is there really people in the world who do things like this? Like, there's people who plot and like
There's like a whole
scheme to steal money and like extort. And all
in
this
Europe.
other
There was like a
craziness.
whole thieves group.
Oh, I did see that. That was a while ago.
Yeah, I forget the name, but they like get so in
That's
detail to the
insane.
point
Brian,
where
do you want to do that? I think we could totally get away with it.
it's like I feel
Like,
I
I'll put you in a
could.
dress.
I'd be like the guy who, like, just sits in the back and radios everything over. I don't want to be the one that
Oh,
like
Brian,
has to
you
be
have
the Tom.
to be on the action. I can't do it. I would give it away. Like, they'll be like, "You're up to something." I'm like, "You're right. I totally am. Here it
With
is."
my voice and this beautiful face, I'd be picked out of a crowd instantly.
And this beautiful face.
I'd walk in, it's like, "Hi, I'd like to make a withdrawal." Oh my God, you have a beautiful voice, and then all the
Oh my God, Brian
guards are
Walsh.
looking at me.
He's too pretty. He's
That's
up to
also like a
something.
problem I have with, like, you know, secret agent movies where the secret agent's beautiful, because it's like, oh, you mean you're in a crowd and nobody will pick you out?
Oh, I just want to point out right now that Miss Sassy Siobhan, I have posted a nice snap of Brian and I singing, and she watched it. Sunburn said she's not
Oh.
here. I just want to blow up her spot right now. That was it.
So, in South Africa, a kidnapped infant was reunited with her family after 17 years because the family that kidnapped her enrolled her in the same school as her biological sister.
Wow, good job. I mean, I'm
Yep.
happy that she's reunited with her family, but good job on the kidnapper's part. Really,
Yeah.
really smart. Is it a small like town or village or whatever?
It's South Africa, so I assume.
Hey, they have towns.
Yeah, they have towns. I just assume, like, you know, if you're enrolling it, maybe it's a big enough school. I
Because
probably
like
should have
South
read.
Africa, I'm pretty sure is a little more developed compared to the rest since the Dutch were there so long.
Yeah. I think it's like, I was watching something that's kind of like split almost. So you have like the very wealthy
Yeah.
part, which is predominantly white, and then
Like everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like everywhere else. Continue.
in Pakistan, police arrested more than 450 parents who refused to give their children polio vaccinations.
Really?
Yep.
But is polio even still that like
If
prevalent?
In,
Is
like,
that the correct word to use?
more underdeveloped countries, it's a little bit more
Oh,
prevalent
okay.
because they
I'm thinking
don't.
in America. I'm like in America.
America,
it's- I don't know why.
We don't have it
literally just
because
said
we
Pakistan.
vaccinate, but seeing how there's all those people that don't want to vaccinate now, it might make a comeback like with measles.
That's crazy. You know, talking about kids in school, I saw this article this morning, and it was an argument saying that parents are neglectful for having their children go home alone at a certain age.
Was it I think I know what you're talking about. Was it that family that had Child Protective Services come to their house?
Yeah.
Yep, it was in like Maryland, right?
Uh-huh.
They let their kids walk alone. Cops showed, Child Protective Services showed up.
Do you know how old these children were?
No,
No? I think
I
I
didn't
have
catch.
it here.
One looked very young.
Because I could understand if they're like 3, 4, maybe. Like, I could see how that's
that would be a problem, but
That's definitely a problem, because if they're 4 or 5 years old, there's so easy to just kidnap the child.
yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. No, I can't find it. But, see, my thing is, maybe because, I don't know. Let me, I'm literally trying to find this thing. I can't find it. I'm gonna give up that dream. If the children were like 4 or 5, I could understand where there's a problem and the parents are seen as neglectful. Now, like when I was growing up, I've been picked up from my grandmother and my other cousins like until I was like 12, 13 years old. But that's also because I had overprotective parents. But some of these towns, like they literally live like down the street or something like that.
I'm trying to find their age.
So it's not like something new that parents are like letting their children go home alone. I don't see it as a big deal. Maybe because that's how I grew up.
The oldest one is 10. The youngest is 6.
Okay, that's not... The 10-year-old is with the 6-year-old, though, right?
Yeah, they were
So then
together,
that's not that
walking
big a
home from
deal.
the playground.
Why is this something that's so new? I remember when
The playground was 2 blocks away from home.
And were they home?
They were walking from the playground to their home, and I assume the parents were home.
See, that's even better. I mean, love my mom to death. She's a great mom. I'm not going to say that she's not. And it doesn't make her a bad mom. But there's been times where when I was 10 years old, I had stood home all day by myself with my brothers. I'm 20, he's 17, so he must have been 7. He was 7 years old, and I used to watch it with no problem. The most she used to say was, don't answer the door, don't answer the phone, you stay inside the house. That was it. And then as we got older, obviously we had to tell her like we were going here, but we would have to call her and be back at a certain time. Like she would consistently call. But I remember in school there were always these kids that they were like 9 years old, like 8 years old, and they would walk from school, which was 2 blocks away from their house, and go straight upstairs, and nothing happened. No one bothered them. This is not anything new. So I don't know why all of a sudden they're saying these people are neglectful and would call ACS on these parents.
Yeah.
Especially if the parents were home. There's some instances that the parents aren't even home and these children are going straight to their house.
Yeah.
So that's something I thought was a little ridiculous and bizarre.
It's like with the kid getting suspended for having a Pop-Tart that he chewed to make it look like a gun pointing at someone.
That's just people being really touchy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see how it's a little offensive.
But it's a kid in kindergarten that doesn't know better. It's literally as offensive
as me doing this to you with the
finger. And
I
saw another kid. Kind of, actually.
How about if I pull it to the side?
Now I'm even more offended.
I just assaulted Brian.
I will report that. I know Demergis is watching, or
Demergis
at least
is
listening.
Watching. I'm very surprised that he's watching.
So, he's my witness.
Why are you watching? No, I'm kidding. Another really funny thing I saw, not funny, funny like ironic funny. So Hillary Clinton, she's actually a really big deal in government, considering she's the first Secretary of State that's a woman, right?
What? Was she?
I'm pretty sure she is.
Wasn't Condoleezza Rice?
True. She's the Secretary of War.
Oh.
Oh my God, I'm so confused right
Secretary
now. I
of
hate
War.
Government positions.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Ian, which one is it? Is Condoleezza Rice as the first Secretary? Oh, never mind. Was. Thank you,
Gotcha.
Demergis, as he's watching.
Gotcha, Spring.
Either way, that's not the point of her position. She was Secretary of State. I know she was Secretary of State, and she's considering becoming president really soon.
Yeah.
Either way, during her time as Secretary of State, dude, excuse me, stop with the updates. I'm reading it now. Demergis is like sending me text messages while I'm trying to read the actual article. So it came out last night that Hillary Clinton, during her time as Secretary of State, used her personal email to send out like things with business and like just things dealing with her position. She did not have an actual government email. Are you kidding me?
She didn't have
Hillary
one, or she just didn't
Clinton.
want to use it.
No, they didn't give her one. From 2009 to 2013, she did not have an email whatsoever. She just used her personal email. Can you imagine Hillary Clinton is trying to like contact you and you see, I don't know, hclinton@gmail.com? What?
Hill
Are you
dog.
kidding me?
I was telling you, maybe it was because everyone just assumed her First Lady of the United States email carried over.
Mm-hmm. Well, it says here that she never even used a State Department email address during her 4 years there. Further aides did not act to preserve her emails on government servers as required by federal law. That's insane. This woman is running as a presidential candidate in 2016. Like she there's a possibility she could be president if we vote her in, obviously, because there's all this crazy government.
I heard the other
stuff
choice
that
might
should-
be like against her is George Bush's brother, Jeb Bush.
I actually did read that. But either way, like that's ridiculous. I cannot get over that. I wonder if it was literally just because she didn't want to use it, but it doesn't seem like it.
Wouldn't she have like brought it up years ago? Like, hey, so when do I get my official government email?
Right? Can you
Instead of
imagine,
just
like,
waiting
hey
till now.
guys, like, am I gonna get this set up?
That
Like,
was an issue you like bring up back in 2000. It was 9, right?
Yeah.
You bring it up in 2009, not years later.
All right. Well, in a statement provided to NBC News, Clinton spokesman Nick Merrill said, quote, like secretaries of state before her, Clinton used her own email account when engaging with any department officials. Okay, that's fine. That's like me emailing Brian because he's one of my peers. Fine. For government business, she emailed them on their department accounts with every expectation they would be retained. So she used their accounts instead of her own. When the department asked former secretaries last year for help ensuring their emails were in fact retained, we immediately said yes. So she does not have diddly squat, basically. Wow.
Really?
That's crazy. I'm very annoyed by this. Maybe because I'm a female and I've been taking a women's studies class, but that's just ridiculous. I cannot get over that. I don't know. Either way, we're going to take a really quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about something I read about Facebook, which I completely agree with, because Facebook could get you kind of sad.
Really?
Yeah.